G'day guys, Define from Define Mods. Just thought I'd share a few musings and a few words on how I've been going with my little Bambu Labs print farm. So far, so good. Yeah, I started out with getting an X1C carbon with the AMS system thrown in, and it's just been a fantastic machine. It changed the way we think about printing and getting prints out fast. This is about making a buck. It is about making $1 and having a bit of fun as well. And we definitely indulge ourselves. And we don't hold back. We print what we want when we want, but we also use it as a money-making tool. And Bambu Labs have really been able to up our game. This isn't Bambu's better than this or Bambu's better than that or anything like this. This is just me stating how these machines have changed production for us. They're just a fantastic machine. I wish somebody had come up with this 3 years ago. I wouldn't have wasted time with Enders or any other machines for that matter. Enders, Prushas, a lot. I would have made a lot more money, that's for sure. I think we've had this one for a few months now, and it's already paid itself off. Honestly. Just in a short time, maybe a couple of hundred prints on this, and yeah, as long as you know your market and you're pricing well, you make your money back on these machines in no time. We were so impressed. We were running one of these in this exact setup. I think we had it over on this side. We were running one of these, and it was outpacing the 3 or 4 bed slingers I had lined up here. It was just pumping prints out, and at quality, and at quantity. There's a few different modes you can go into these, of course. For the fine stuff, I'll always leave it at a more reasonable speed. So now she's running at standard, and that's fine. I rarely use sport. I'll use sport if I need something pumped out really quick. Ludicrous is what it says. That's ludicrous. It's called that for a reason. That's it's ludicrous. But other than that, fantastic machines, fantastic printers, little to no complaints with them. When you're running a farm and you're pumping out stuff 24/7, or trying to pump out stuff 24/7, you're always servicing your printers. You're always having to change this, you're always having to change that. So a little bit of work or a few quirks or bumps or problems here or there on these things, to anyone running a farm is not a big deal. It's just part and parcel of running print farms. If you run a race car crew, you're fixing cars all the time. If you're running a motorbike racing crew, if you're running any sort of machine shop, you're forever repairing your machines and keeping maintenance up on your machines. 3D printing is no different. So the little bit of maintenance I've had to give back to what I get back, it's minimal. And what I get back is a fuck ton of prints, and a fuck ton of enjoyment, and a fuck ton of cash. It's just that simple. Can I do this with any other printer? No, I can't. Sorry. I just can't. There's no other printer on the market in this price range, in this bracket, that will allow me to print shit as fast as what you're watching me print now. There just isn't. I just can't do it, And there's no bullshit, mate. There's nothing worse quality or structural about these. All our prints print fine. They're all perfect. They're no less stronger than anything we printed on slower machines at slower speeds. That's just not the way it works. If you're printing up there on ludicrous, well, sure, be ludicrous. But you know, these just make you money, mate, and that's what they do. And they make you a lot of fun stuff too. You know, it's we indulge, we indulge a lot. You know, and thanks to this, thanks to these 3 machines, we get a lot more time to indulge ourselves. It's time that we can have away from these machines. We just push a button and walk away. If there's ever a problem, I get a notification sent to me on my app. You know, it's just that simple. You know, here, have a notification. You got a problem? Yeah, sure, okay. I'll come out and have a look. General maintenance. I do print a lot of ABS, so I do clean these carbon rods regularly. I do grease my lead screws regularly. I've yet to pop out my bearings, but I will pop out these bearings and I will grease them as best I can anyway. I'm told that these run bushings at the top of their lead screws. I don't see that as a problem at all. You know, other manufacturers don't run anything at the top of a lead screw, or they just run them up into plastic. So I don't see a lot of problems if they're bushings with that. I'm happy enough for that. The P1P, great machine. I was so happy with that. I didn't need another exotic filament printing machine for ABS, nylons. I do a lot of carbon. I like to print a truckload of carbon. I'll show you this a bit later, all the carbon stuff, or all the filament that I use for that. But these are basic PLA machines, and they print well. We haven't been doing many colour prints at the moment, multicolour prints. Most of the prints we're doing at the moment are using the new Overture PLAs, silk 2-colour. So this one here is silver and green, and these are a fantastic filament. Beautifully rolled, beautifully spooled. The colour on the roll is kept uniform. So when you're printing, you know exactly what you're going to get. So your print comes out looking uniform. It's not all twisted, tangled, and matted like you get on some of the other brands. It's, you know, come on, it's just perfect. So we've really been buying into these, and at the moment we're basically just printing dragon heads, and these are going to be our swashes. These are going to be our colours for that we can show off colours and the different colours we print. I like the dragon heads. I think if you're gonna go big, and these show off the dual colours beautifully. So this is what you're looking at here is a combination of Overture and another brand that we've been buying recently, which is fantastic. It's very nice. It's a no-name brand, and I've just been buying it off a local supplier in Campbelltown here in Sydney. Great filaments, but I'll come back to that. Sorry, I tend to get a bit sidetracked. So the beauty of these 3 machines is that we can run them all from the one app, and it's a fantastic little app, this Bambu app. I could imagine if I had 10 of these, that I could just click on here, pick the machine I want to look at, click on it, and I'll get a status. It'll change, and it'll tell me where it is, where it's at. I can adjust. I can do all the adjustments I need to do on this machine. Easy from here. Easy from here. Just too easy. Being instant real-time updating. If I come over to the machine now and have a look, there it is. Fantastic. This just makes life so easy. This whole ecosystem, and I know some say don't buy into it. That, you know, it's a closed ecosystem and you're going through the cloud. You know, I'm sure China or whoever, Bambu, none of them have got any interest in my skulls, you know, and the shit we do. I might send the occasional dildo print their way just to give them shits and giggles, but, you know, other than that, I don't have a problem using the cloud. If the cloud works for me, then I'm happy to use it. If it makes my load easier, I'm happy to use it. You know, if it makes sending print jobs to the printers easier, I'm happy to do it. Do I have to get up every time, pop one of these little SD cards out, take it in, put it in my computer, copy the file to it, bring it back out, stick it in, or do I just sit at my computer and flick them off? I'm happy to use it. You know, that's a really good ecosystem working for the end user, and it works really, really, really well. I've tried Creality's bullshit, it doesn't work. Probably the only thing I've seen that's anywhere near as good as this, is built into Clipper, and that's it. You know, and that's thanks to the power of Pi. You know, that makes that work. So you know, that's a big investment. You know, and it's usually only on higher end machines. What else? The P1Ps, fantastic machine, rock solid. They cause us no troubles. They just print, they're rock solid. They print clean, they print nice. They're easily, you know, 100 prints in themselves. Again, just clean the carbon rods. I don't do that as much because these don't print ABS, so there's not such a build-up. It's just the local dust in the room here. But other than that, you know, these are, you know, I'm tempted to buy 2 more, but I need the bigger size. I value the 300 by 300 for the larger projects. We do a lot of large dragons, and these can get really big. These are up to 1 metre long, some surpass 1 metre long. So we need the larger beds for that. They barely fit on these. They just, you know, and in a pinch I'll use them. Most of that gets done over here on the Max. I'll print all these larger prints here on the Max. It's what it's for, you know, 470 by 470. It's like a dinosaur in the corner of the room. It just plods along like an old tank, just chugging along in the background, printing the larger ones. The CR10s, mate, these have been the backbone of our fleet for so long now. These just haven't stopped printing from the day I bought them. I bought one close to new and the other 2 second hand. I paid a fair price for one. I picked another one up for pittance, and the other one was somewhere in between. I think I got that in a deal with 2 other printers. But these have just been fantastic, mate, honest to God. If you ask me what is the best 3D bed slinging printer you can buy, I'd say these. You know, simply because of their size. They have AC heated beds. They have a pretty decent hot end in them. They have above average cooling on them. They come pre-installed with a BL Touch for bed leveling. They've got dual extruder, gear extruder. They've got filament run out sensors. They've got dual lead screws. You know, if you can pick one of these up for a few $100, you're ahead, mate. You're already on your way. I'd rate these 10-fold better than a Prusa any day. Just as reliable in my opinion. They never conk out. They never fail prints. They print smooth. They print nice, and they can print at a decent speed. You know, they're not that slow. I usually run them well above spec, and they handle it well. And you keep them well tuned. You keep that gantry level and keep those lead screeds greased up. I think these have become pre-installed with Capricorn tubing from the factory. You know, Creality really did a good job on these. They really did. I'm a big fan of the dual rails for the rather than one skinny rail up the middle. Big fan of that. I really rate that. I love the touch screens on them. If you want more out of them, you can install tiny machines. If you're looking to get more out of your printer, tiny machines give you a much better system, firmware. You get much more options, much quicker. The bed leveling is twice as quick. This thing dances around for the bed leveling at 5 times the speed that these do it at. It's just a far better firmware to run on these. It's akin to running gyres on an Ender 3 V2, if not better, to be honest. I mean, it really is a fantastic piece of firmware. you get stacks of adjustments. You know, you get everything you need. So look, you know, fantastic machines. If you can see one here in AU for you know, for $200, mate, that's yeah, you'd be dopey not to jump on it. Anywhere up to $300, you're still getting an incredible deal. Incredible deal. 350 to 600. You know, well, you know, you're starting to get a, you know, out of the territory of good value. But, you know, in my opinion, you just can't go wrong with these things. They print nice, they print well, they print clean. You know, what can I say about them? They're just brilliant machines. On the rack system, this is just a cheap racking system we bought. I've installed a LED strip and some extrusion with a diffuser on it, just to even the light out. All the reels, all the filament run on these above things I printed up, spool holders I printed up, and these were a really simple, basic idea. You know, I mean, you couldn't get any simpler than that. Just printed in two parts, the hook unit and the actual spool holder, and then they're just pressed together. I don't even think I put glue in these, they're just a tolerance press, and then that shape allows me to hook that over that, and then I can slide that wherever I want it to suit whatever machine. And that was great back in the old days when we were doing dual colours through the bed slingers that I had lined up here. So you could have a couple of rolls ready to go up here on these, and then you could just unhook one and hook the other. Jesus, it seems like a lifetime ago where we were manually feeding dual colours. I think I spoke about the Overture Silk PLA. That's fantastic stuff. You know, $33 on Amazon. That's a bargain if you can get it. It sells out really quick, this dual colour, because it is just that good. It is in so much demand for that at the moment. And the colours, as you can see, they're striking. They're beautiful colours. We do tend to stock a lot of filament. We go a bit happy on buying filament. We love our filament. You know, I think we've been watching too much filament stories on YouTube, because we tend to try and keep up. Not that we can, but we just love buying filament. You know, we love printing the new colours off and experimenting with new colours, and we're at the point now where we're just struggling to keep it in this room. You know, it's everywhere. We're just struggling to keep it here in this room. So I'm thinking about drywalling a room out the back and trying to run a whole room for the filament. You know, we'll shelve it right up and just run a whole bunch of these type of shelving out the back. At the moment, the big demand for us, or the big, is the dual and tricolour filaments. And I'd have to say the best of the best right now is the Overture. Nothing comes close to it in print quality and looks, and that's $33. Like I said, you can probably find it cheaper elsewhere. We found this dual colour from a local supplier out at Campbelltown. This has been really good filament. I think that's would be, I think, him, and him, and him and him are the Overtures. But you know, print wise, they all do exactly the same thing. They look absolutely gorgeous. These are some other. So that one there, that looks like pink and yellow, that is this guy here. So there's the pink, you can see coming in. There's the yellow going out. The darker colour, which is blue and red, I think that's this one here. So as you can see, there's your blue and your red. But we've just got another delivery today from Amazon. Thank you, Amazon. Another 9 boxes of that just to keep us going. This red, so the max we usually use for the much larger prints, which are these really big winged serpents. And then of course all the smaller ones are either done on the, well we just don't. These have been relegated to backups and other duties. What I think I might do at some point, or what we're very keen to do, is as soon as we can get our hands on a K1, the new Creality K1, I'd like to upgrade to these, upgrade to those, and move these on. And then we've got another system. I mean, I wish Bambu would just hurry up and get it done and make a 300 by 300, but I'm not hearing anything from Bambu on that. I don't think anyone is. I mean, if they made a 300 by 300, I could integrate it into the Bambu ecosystem and it'll all be roses. But unfortunately, it looks like maybe the K1 Max is going to be the choice of upgrade for us here. For now, anyway, I don't see any other options. Maybe the Queedy, but I don't. Sorry, the Queedies, they just they look like flash forge machines. I just can't do it. Sorry. So basically, with all this filament, I think there's also dual color changes in the eSun. So that's eSun dual color change filament there and there. We have printed a fair bit in that. I don't think that prints any nicer than the Overture, and that stuff's $50. I think we got that cheap at the time when it first came out. We got in early and got a few cheap rolls of it. That's all priced at $50 now, and I can't justify paying $50 for that. That's just too much. And then we got some, I think Magic something. These are tricolour filaments, these ones, just there. So they're a triple tricolour filament. We won't be doing dragons and that, I don't think. We'll stick with the more popular brands that we can keep supplying. We keep a lot of colour change, The missus absolutely loves her colour changes, and why not? Why wouldn't you when you can have things like that? Colour changes are just, that's the way to go, isn't it? That's what people want to see. They love the colour changes. So we keep as much as we can of that, and as much of every different type of it. There's so much colour change, and the problem with the colour change is you can't sort of just stick it up or lay it down or put it face forward, because you don't know what you're looking at. So you sort of got to have it all slightly tilted so you get a rough idea of exactly what you're doing. There's a bunch of Nova up there. Nova, that was we got onto that really early on Amazon, and we ended up picking that up for $12 a roll at in the end. $24 for a jewel box, so they're jewel boxes. And so we stocked up on black because you're always going to use black, and we stocked up on orange because hey, Halloween comes around once a year and you go for a shitload of that. That's my ABS. I've got to find a home for ABS. That's just not a good way to have to stuff around and go through all my ABS all the time. Some more colour changes, some random colours up the back. We bought into the eSun bagging ecosystem, but we just got sick of pumping. Every time we want to bag something, we're pumping. We just didn't need that workout 10 times a day. Because honestly, with these things, at the speed that they smash through prints, you're taking the shit down and bagging and pumping, 10 times, 20 times a day sometimes. So thanks to a little tip over on OCAU forums by one of the guys over there called Revenger. He posted these up a week or so ago. And mate, I've never looked back, and kudos to you, Revenger, mate. That's seriously one of the best things I've it's simple, but one of the best things I've encountered while 3D printing are these little, and they're a dual seal. And if you want, chuck a little bag of gel silica in with it, you know, we'll do that, just to look after them, and then Bob's your uncle, you're done. The Sunloo dryers, we keep a couple of Sunloo dryers about the place. They're good. Nothing's in them at the moment because they don't need to dry anything. These bags are working pretty well, but I think at some point I've really got to start to think about how I'm going to store all this, because we've got another 10 rolls on order from Amazon coming probably tomorrow. I think I've got 4 or 5 strong heroes coming from US. We're just starting to run out of room, and then not to mention we keep all our whites down here in containers, so all the different colour whites are all packed up in containers. Be nice to have these on the shelves. You would not believe that there is this many different colour whites, but fuck me dead, there is. Clears, greys, stonewash colours. All the blues are kept separate because, believe it or not, we don't sell a lot of blue. So we keep all the blues separate. Keep packing, a lot of packing. You always got to have your boxes ready to go. This here is actually where the missus does all the packing, sort of populated by dragons at the moment. You know, I'll keep saying to her, look, just pull this forward, and there's your packing bench right there. And that's not funny though. Yeah, but other than that, it's a functional little setup. 3 more of these would be good. But in saying that, I'm pretty sure that if I'm happy with the K1 Max, when it eventually comes out, I'll definitely get a second one. And if they can whiz around at half the speed of these things the Bambu Labs do, then I'll be more than happy. And that will still be twice as fast as what these print at. Yeah. So anyway, guys, that's the story so far. I'll update as I go along. Time as I upgrade, I'll post up updates and keep us going. One quick little thing I was going to mention was that in the old days we used to do layer on layer for our dual colour coasters and stuff, but with the advent of the Bambu Labs now, we don't have to do this anymore. We can actually now imprint the pattern on the first layer rather than having to make it on top. So we get this incredible looking, perfect surfaced pattern, which almost looks like it's, you know, injected molded, which it kind of is, or even printed. But it's just a beautiful effect that you can get now off that. And of course there's a dragon. But yeah, thanks to Bambu and its AMS system, we can get these incredible. So basically what that is it's, as you know, as you can see, it's just black using a colour change or a dual colour filament, and then it just, that's all the first layer, and it's absolutely beautiful. Another game changer, thanks to Bambu Labs, you know, for us anyway. You know, it's just what they bring to the table is just incredible. And as of recording this, I've noticed not only has K1 jumped in on it, but Queedy has also jumped in and decided that they're going to have a crack, and they've basically just out and out copied it, you know, down to the carbon rods, even the tool head with the cutter on the side, and even the hot end design, although not as sexy, but definitely a copy. But good on them, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, somebody comes out and innovates, takes the next leap forward. They show how to do it, and then the rest follow. And that's what it's all about, you know. I mean, honestly, that's exactly what it's all about. That's exactly what it's all about. So let's hope more people jump on board, you know. Come on, Tronksy, get your act together. There's some wishful thinking in that, but probably a funny way to end this. So have a good one, guys, and yeah, see you in the next one.